Hey everyone, happy Wednesday. We are about two-thirds of the way done Magic Misfits, so let's keep going. We're about to find out what happens at the top of the hill in that Grand Oak Resort. So, Magic Misfits, Chapter 14. Nearly an hour later, the four misfits made their way up Grand Oak Drive, and Carter found himself nearly stumbling in awe. The sides of the cobblestone road were adorned with sculptures, fountains, and shrubs shaped like zoo animals. It was another warm and sunny day. As he stepped beneath a leafy green giraffe, he said, "I've never been anywhere like this." In the daylight, the cluster of buildings at the top of the hill gleamed white. At the center of all of them stood an ample three-story lodge. Each floor was marked by 13 expansive windows. Layla mentioned that this was the building where most of the guests stayed. It was all gables and turrets and green and white striped awnings. Half a dozen chimneys rose from the jagged roof, and in the middle of them all sat a small cupola, a simple weather vane perched on top, swaying in the soft breeze. The road led up the slope to a covered turnaround with a grand entryway directly in its middle. Beyond the wide front doors were hidden a massive restaurant and an even larger theater. The other buildings were smaller. Wide white signs with black lettering were posted on the walls just outside their front doors. Athletics room, dance studio, climbing course, reading room, rope course, tea room, mineral spa, juice bar, and many more. All were connected by labyrinthian stone paths, stretches of which were covered by wisteria canopies. Dark slate overlaid the peaks and gables of the dramatic roof lines, and green shutters accented every window. The Grand Oak Resort was magnificent. If you wanted to try horseback riding, you could. How about balloon dancing? They'd teach you. If anyone wished for a mud bath that might make them look 10 years younger, well, that could be done too. How about a buffet with all you can eat 7-layer chocolate cake? They had it. For breakfast. One of you I know would love that. But many agreed the best part was the show on the stage in the main building each night after dinner. During the weekdays, the Grand Oak staff and the guests would show off their talents. Singing, juggling, dancing. However, on the weekends, big acts, some of the greatest crooners, comedians, musicians, and, yes, magicians of the age, took the stage. "So luxurious," Layla said as she led the group past the last of the topiary animals. "Since Papa cooks here, I get to come hang out in the kitchen sometimes. So I know this place like the back of my hand. After hours, I find empty rooms to practice my escape tricks in. There's even a whole wing that's been abandoned, and a garden maze around back near the woods where the people are constantly getting lost and needing to be rescued." Carter gazed up at the main hall's giant columns as Layla waved to a bellhop. The old man opened the monumental door for them with a strained smile. Layla said, "Thanks, Dean." Carter was paralyzed by the grandeur, so Layla took his hand and tugged him inside. The lobby was in full swing, with people of every shape, size, color, and age coming and going. Tourists were at the concierge's desk, asking about hiking trips and shopping for second-hand furniture and antique knickknacks. In fact, much of the decor in Vernon's magic shop came from little farms and houses all around Mineral Wells. People are always throwing away things that they think are junk, but other people believe to be treasure. The elevator doors opened and closed, taking in and pushing out families in need of nourishment or activity. Teenagers in dripping bathing suits zipped up and down the wooden staircase from the indoor pool to the dining hall. A heaping brass luggage cart glided past, with a kid in an eye patch riding atop the highest suitcase, shouting commands like a pirate. Standing 9 feet tall at the top of a staircase was a stuffed grizzly bear on its hind legs. Its claws were raised, but any fear factor was lost due to its sunglasses. In the center of the room, a boy and a girl in matching plaid jumpsuits were tap dancing on a small mirrored stage. An audience of guests gathered around to watch. Carter guessed the dancers were twins, but he wasn't sure if it was the matching outfits, hair color, and face features, or the easy and perfectly in sync moves of their routine. Despite the dizzying speed of their clicking toes and their swinging arms, they never missed a beat. When the song ended, they launched straight into the next part of their act. Hey Izzy, what do you call a troupe of tap dancing chorizos? The boy asked. I don't know, Ollie, the girl answered. What? Tapas! Ollie's shoes did a tappity tap tap tap. That's Ollie and Izzy Golden, Layla said to Carter as she gave a wave. They're great. Their parents work here at the resort too. Their dad teaches comedy techniques and their mom is a ballroom dance instructor. We may be good at magic, but those two kids know how to make people laugh. The first time I saw their show, I laughed so hard I cried, Ridley added, and I never cry. I wonder if anyone has ever cried so hard they laughed, Theo mused. I could help you find out, Ridley said, tapping her fingers on the arm of her chair. Oh, har, har, har. I'm gonna cry if I don't get my lucky lockpicks back, said Layla. Carter's heart began to race as he thought of what the pockpickets might be doing to his wooden box. Let's get going. Layla led the others to the concierge, a stunning woman in a smart pantsuit with a silver name tag that said Quinn. Hey, Q, Layla said, giving her a hug. How's life? Wonderful, Quinn said. This weekend's been so much fun. The Grand Oak is sold out, and everyone is buzzing about Bosso's big show tonight. We don't know what he's going to do with that diamond. Maybe he'll make it even bigger. I'd just love to get his autograph, Layla said, sarcastically, trying hard not to roll her eyes. Papa said he was cooking lunch for them today. Do you know what time and where? Of course I do, the concierge says. That's my job. Mr. Bosso and his guests will be lunching in the Commodore room at 1. But you can catch him before that. He and his friends are relaxing by the indoor pool. She leaned forward and whispered. Maybe don't tell them I mentioned it. They've been a bit intense as of late. No problem, Q. You're a doll, Layla said. Layla led the others to a corner of the lobby. So, what's our plan? Get dressed up, Ridley said, tapping the duffel bag resting in her lap, which was full of Mr. Vernon's props. Then divide and conquer. Perfect, Carter said. Let's get our stuff back. Pause. I don't want to come out, Carter said from the bathroom door. Are you sure we don't have another disguise? I only brought the 4, Layla said. 1 for each of us. Hurry it up, Ridley said. We need to get going while the villains are making waves. Carter stumbled from the bathroom into a hallway off the lobby. I feel ridiculous. Layla and Ridley burst out laughing. You said you didn't want to be recognized, Theo noted with a grin. I believe this will do the trick. Which one do you think is Carter? Carter had traded in his pants and shirt for a green Speedo, green goggles, and a green bathing cap. Yep. The others were already dressed. Theo wore a bellhop uniform, and Ridley was dressed as an old woman, complete with white wig and face makeup. Layla wore a one-piece swimsuit covered in snow flowers and a swim cap with little fabric flowers and beaded pearls. You want to trade? Carter asked Theo. Theo shook his head. If you're that uncomfortable, I'll trade you, Layla giggled. Let's just get this done, Carter said. When they got to the indoor pool, they all did some exploring. The 4 friends took turns walking into the glass atrium at different times. Theo went first, pretending to work. Next, Ridley entered, pretending to look for a suitable place below the sunroof. Layla ran in and dove straight into the water. When Carter walked in, he froze. He had never seen such an amazing place. Despite the temperate spring weather outside, the glass atrium was warm as the sun came in from above and heated his skin. The air was scented with thrice-cooked French fries, suntan lotion, and chlorine. And the only sounds Carter heard were of splashes and laughter. Shaped like a tropical lagoon, the pool had 3 levels of diving boards, a twisting slide, a rope swing, waterfalls, and a hot tub, for grown-ups only after 5 p.m. Waiters in white shirts and pants hurried around with frozen lemonades and nachos, weaving among the lounge chairs surrounding the pool. It was like a splashy paradise. Carter was in such awe he didn't realize he was blocking the entrance. A large man called out directly behind him. "Hey, you!" Fear rushed through Carter. It was Bosso. And that, my friends, is the end of chapter 14. Bit of a cliffhanger there. Can't wait to find out what happens next in chapter 15. But hope you have an amazing week. I will see you all on Saturday for chapter 15. I love you all. Bye.